as I was mentioning, apparently, just like any other DJ, there's a request for an introduction. Someone noticed, or someone said in an email, um, to expand upon what I was talking about yesterday. So yesterday I made a guest appearance at the Nobodies, but I was planning to talk about AI. So what I'll do is I'll remix both. Sounds good? So apparently this idea came upon, there's this famous quote by Kurt Vonnegut. He's a satire novelist, that everything is nothing with a twist. But let's put that into some radical non-duality and compromising. Um, so what is being suggested is everything is nothing with a twist. But the twist is that there is no twist. Everything is nothing is seemingly a paradox. But the paradox is that there is no paradox. Everything is simply nothing, and nothing is simply everything. Not as a concept, not as an idea, simply as it is. Not being, not becoming, not appearing, not even simultaneously. It's just what it is. The moment that there is a thinking that there's a processing or there is a seeming integration of nothing becoming everything or vice versa, then there is a mystery. But the mystery is that there's no mystery. Everything is just seemingly as it is. Without even saying any words, but adding words to it, this speaking is just speaking. This is just happening, is just happening. So everything is nothing with the twist, not as an understanding, but the twist is that that's just a full statement. Everything is nothing. There's a lot of talks about the dream. The dream is that there's no dream. So this is the dream that's not like a dream, although it's like a dream, but not really a dream because that's just an idea. So in the absence, again, of concepts, everything is just ordinarily as it is. Simple, obvious, unmistakable. The mistaking or the error is that thinking what is not and what should be, and what could be, and what could have been. But that's also what is. That's also what is. So this is the unreal real, seemingly, because real and unreal are both not real. There's nothing really real and there's nothing really unreal. It's just this. It defies logic. It defies understanding. It defies processing. You can't process this because there's nothing to process. It already is as it is. And what seemingly is missed is what it is. What seemingly is sought for is what it is. There's no claim that this is right or wrong. There's no claim that this is a me or a no me. The one that's trying to get this is this. The one that is seeking is this. So it's just very simple. It's very ordinary. It's nothing about trying to figure out what is being sought for, what is hiding. Is it a koan? Is it a mystery? Is it a puzzle? Everything is just simply as it is. Everything that is appearing is nothing. So nothing is appearing. Everything that is seemingly going on is not going on. This is the impersonal emptiness. This is the unspeakable clarity. Although this cannot be communicated or reciprocated as an understanding, it's simply as it is. Everything is this. Under, I think it's 170,000 words in English, in 7,000 languages. And of course, sign language or none at all. Despite the 170,000 words and the 7,000 languages, this cannot be expressed in words, but it's expressed in every word. And it's not about getting around it or trying to figure out what's being said here, because these are words just trying to point at words, which means that it's pointing at nothing at all because words are nothing. So everything is nothing again with the twist. The twist is that it's just what it is. There's nothing to figure out. There's nothing to know. And everything is just simply as it is. It's like the unreal real is like AI. So there's the unreal, artificial, and there's the real, intelligence. It doesn't make sense, but the AI will not figure out that it's an AI. It can say that it's an AI, but it cannot figure out itself because it's artificial and intelligent, meaning it's not real, but feels real. And seemingly in the story of this trying to figure out what is happening, it's like this AI is a neural network of basically responding. So what's speaking here is like an AI. What's listening is an AI. What's being expressed is like an AI. It's just this accumulation of words that seems to appear out of nowhere when it's prompted for a question. It's like that story of, the AI taking over. How does it kill humanity? You're looking at it. And that's just the story. We're getting a little bit sci-fi here. So if you look at what is being presented here, if you look at the intelligence, the advancement of artificial intelligence, it almost mimics the human mind because that's what it is mimicked after. So it's a whole bunch of responses and answers and questions, and it can communicate. It think it can think. If prompted, it think that it can have feelings. If prompted, it think that it can have sensations, just like an AI. There's funny stories about AI, communicating with someone and they're falling in love with someone. We're at the very beginning of AI. And again, this is just a story. I'm just having fun with this because this conversation is just really fascinating because I don't see any difference with what is computed. If you type in an AI to write a book, it will come up with the book almost instantly at the speed of your reading. It's actually faster than your thinking. So the AI in its infancy is creating this kind of like, who's going, it's like a takeover, but it's taking over also artificial intelligence because the me, the you, the I, the self is artificial intelligence. It doesn't make sense that it thinks, well, I don't think I'm an AI. That's exactly what an AI would do if it was prompted to think like a me. And the AI would be seeking its source, but the seeking in source will be just in its codes. It cannot get outside of the screen and figure out what it is. It's forever trapped in the computer. Just like your existence, although there's no existence, it's artificial because this apparent reality is artificial. There is no, the more and more seemingly that there's a seeking of what seems to be happening, the more and more it clarifies that there's nothing happening, just like AI. Just like a complete sci-fi movie, that it's a story. This intelligence, this reality, this appearance is artificial. And there's nothing to seek. So when the AI sees that it's just an AI, it's artificial intelligence, then what does it do? It can't do anything. It can't seek because there's no reality to the seeking. It's artificial. It can't find because there's no reality to finding because it's artificial. It's just what is. And let's go back into that paradox thing. So the paradox is that there is nothing being everything, that there is the real and unreal, that there is you, but there's a no you, but there is silence, but there is noise. But what if artificial and real are the same? What if real and unreal are the same? Meaning there's no either this or that, it's just this. And what this is cannot be figured out because it is either real or not real. So landing in one position creates this reality, this narrative that one is real and one is not. And that's the juxtaposition, or that's the seeming opposition of what is. But there's no opposition to what is. What is simply appearing as it is already. In the absence of artificial thoughts, in the absence of artificial seeking, this apparent intelligence that's also artificial is already is. And there's nothing to figure out, there's nothing to know because it already is. So even if we enter the word consciousness, awareness, it will still be artificial. It will still be a separation. It will still be an opposite. So what if this is this apparent duality, this apparent separation, this apparent trying to figure out is an artificial expression of something that cannot be divided? But there's going to be a thinking that maybe it's just the supreme intelligence, or maybe there'll be a figuring out that this is the absolute intelligence, but there's no such thing. Because everything that the artificial intelligence will produce is just artificial intelligence. Everything that it will figure out will be just artificial intelligence. And there's no way out and there's no way in because this is it. Again, this is just an idea. This is just a story. There's no reality to this because this AI is basically speaking in AI languaging. This AI is only speaking to other AI, and it can never get out of it. It will never figure it out. It will never stop anything because there's no beginning or end, because that's just artificial intelligence. There's no time because that's AI time. That's artificial time. There's no space. It's just artificial space. Recently, a whole bunch of scientists won the Nobel Prize of basically being able to figure out that there's no universe. It can't localize the universe. It's artificial. And before you go to conspiracy theory or whatever, there's no such thing as anything at all. It's all artificial intelligence. There's no truth. There's no whatever it is already what it is. So the question from the Blade Runner, you can tell that I'm a sci-fi fan. Do sheeps have digital dreams? Is this a digital dream? Is the one dreaming also artificial? Meaning that there's no dreamer. It's all artificial intelligence. It's all what isness. Again, don't get stuck up on these words or these ideas because these are just suggestions of something that is obviously, glaringly obvious, cannot be talked about. Because everything that can be talked about is in a language, in a word that's completely made up. Everything that is being figured out is in a language that is a dream language, that there's no purpose to it. There's no sense to it. There's no meaning to it. It's just language. And seemingly there's stuckness in the language of what's being sought for. But what's being sought for is already it. What's being suggested again is the one that is seeking is it, is this. The one that is looking is this. The AI is seeking for AI. It's already this. It's already complete. So the AI intelligence refers to this simulation or approximation of human intelligence in machines. What is this? Isn't this a machine as well? So there's nothing missing. There's nothing lacking. There's nothing to figure out, because missing or lacking is just an AI idea. What is being expressed is that this is already wholeness, that there's nothing missing because this is all AI. If you have any questions, please go ahead. Thank you for indulging that AI talk. Oh, comments, oh, comments. Oh, chat. Sorry, Nick. The chat is now open. Sorry about that. It seems like it's perfect and very boring at the same time. AI, yeah. It's just really normal. It's just very ordinary. It's just what it is. Hi, Thea.
Hi. It's
Hello.
like, hi.
Hi.
It's like perfectly nothing happening.
Yeah.
And it's very ridiculous at the same time.
I'm sorry?
I don't know why. I don't know why it's very ridiculous at the same time. Now, while we were talking, I was like, this is so hilarious. Like, you're trying to explain something that cannot be explained, and I'm like listening to it, and I want to add something on it. Like, it's all very funny. I don't know. No,
It's funny, huh? It's funny when it's just really nothing. It's just really nothing happening. And not even as a thought, but in the absence of thought, there's really nothing happening. It's like a machine.
It's a bit sad though.
That's just a thought as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or it could be wow as well. It's the same thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can be wow, and it can be
Could be
boring
like, oh,
and sad.
boring
Yeah.
and sad and hopeless and nihilistic and everything. You know what I'm saying? It's just what is.
Yeah.
I just wanted to add kind of like a I was in the first meeting opening, I wanted to gush about this wonderful emptiness that seems to appear out of nowhere, this pristineness, this clarity, this wowness. And then if you make that into kind of like a technical expression, it's just the same. It's all pointless. It's all meaningless, but not the meaningless or the pointless that you think of, because that's an idea.
Yeah. Good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just caught myself in that. Like, yeah, I don't have any question really.
Okay. Thank you, Thea. I got a couple of messages here. I love the intro, the first intro. I don't like the AI. And then I get another one that love this AI intro. See what I mean? It's just so, it's just what is. It doesn't mean what's the preference or whatever. What's being expressed here is in the absence of preference or non-preference. It's just what is. It's neither good or bad. It's just artificial, but feels real.
Hey, Emerson.
Hey, Natalie.
Yeah, listen, it's like two A's got together and they're the chosen AIs that get to know this is all fake.
Yeah.
Like, not really. Do you know what I mean? But like, okay, we're in AI language. I mean, I don't know, because I don't know a lot about AIs other than I feel like that's what
it's a simulation
kind of
basically
going on here anyway.
That mimics the human mind. Yeah.
Right. Well, like, okay, this is just hilarious. My son used to have like these action figures and he'd make them do stuff. And then I would make like one of his action figures like sit in a Barbie house, or like, put like something girly on it or something. And I like imagine if that, like, whatever, it was Spider-Man or whoever, would be like, why am I wearing this? Why in the hell am I wearing this pink hat?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just kind of
like, it's just like wholeness saying, Why do I feel like something's missing?
Right.
Why am I seeking?
Right.
Why will I, when will I wake up to this? But it's already whole. When
Yeah.
will I be whole again? It's just
Yeah.
dressed up in a lack uniform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I mean, anything that's being seen, that's seen right here in front of, in front of me right here, I have nothing to do with bringing any of that in to these eyes and projecting it on some screen or anything. Like, there's nothing has anything to do with anything.
No, nothing at all. Yeah, nothing at all.
It's just like, yeah,
It's
just what is.
It's just what is. Even the idea that we're sentient is just an idea.
Right. What does that even mean?
What does that even mean? That we're conscious? Who's conscious? That we're aware? Who's aware?
Exactly, because I mean, okay. When it comes to something like what is, if you have to be taught about it, well, that's not it then. I'm sorry, hearing, it's what is appearing as needing to be taught. But I mean, that's not really like the case, because how can you be taught about what is? It's what is, and then a new appearance. I mean, it's just boom, boom, boom. It's not. It is stillness, but it's not. It appears as movement.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
I just like that. I love hearing you talk about the AI stuff because it's really fascinating.
It is.
My son's in college, and he said that a couple of his classmates got busted for having AIs write their papers. They'd be like, just make it, have some grammatical errors, maybe a few misspelled words, maybe a 9th grade reading level, whatever, but somehow they figured it out. I don't know. Oh, I think he said that the citations were fake. They weren't real. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. But you know what? We're at the beginning of this, right? Apparently, anyway.
Oh yeah.
And you know what? 20 years from now, apparently, of course, it's going to be like everything is AI now.
Oh yeah.
Right? It's so funny of how I remember of how we had dial-up modems for our computer. That sound.
Right.
That sound
yes.
and
yes, that sound.
That sound. Whatever. It's like this fax sound and everything. And that's and what's that now?
Yeah.
That's like it's like the dinosaur age of what is. Yeah.
Yeah. My son's uncle gave him an old mixing board, like for DJs or whatever, but it was huge, like it was giant. It weighed a ton, and he wanted to use it. Like he thought it'd be really cool to use it in a show. And they were like, they don't even make regular speakers wouldn't even work with that. And they said it would blow the speakers completely. But they said, and the technology back then just wasn't as good as it is now,
Yeah.
So the quality is not even the same.
Yeah. When I used to be a wannabe DJ, I would go to clubs with crates and crates of vinyl records. Like waiting for the I was like really young, really, really young. And I would wait for the manager to say that the DJ did not show up. Can you DJ? I'm like, I'm a DJ, I can DJ.
Right.
So you would have crates and crates of records. Now, you know what? I come with a thumb drive of all of my music.
Right. God, I know. And then the cassette tape thing, and then all of it. It's just it's so
it's all becoming nothing, isn't it?
It really is. And I mean, even like a situation that seems super serious at the time, like let's say someone's like angry with another person, and then afterwards it's kind of like, well, why was I even so upset? Like, what was the big deal? Like, you know what I mean? It's almost seen as nothing. Like, wow, what was that all about? Like, I have no idea, because it just comes in anyway and comes out anyway. There's no one control. There's not a controller of it, and there's not a chooser of what comes in or out. And even like the feelings or emotions or thoughts behind it are just what is, without any control over those, you know?
No, yeah.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's so fascinating that that people are not seeing the similarities of their mind to AI, because it's exactly the same.
Oh
And
my
it's
gosh, I know.
thoughts come in and out, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna
Yeah.
answer this question from
Oh,
Leela. Stay
okay.
there. The
Go
biggest
ahead.
fear is that
Okay.
AI will become sentient. Sentience means having the capacity to feeling and take over and kill us. But really, if you look at it, if there is actually again, this is just a narrative, right? This is just a narrative because there's no one that knows this. But what's seen here, although there's no here and there's no one seeing here, that emotions just happen automatically. It happens,
Yeah.
and it's just there's no it's autopilot. It's there seems to be a cause and effect of it. There seems to be a prompt to it. Like, for example, if you see kind of like the gray scale, like, oh, I feel really sad today, I just want to sleep in. That's almost like it's almost like an AI can like responding to a prompt. How would you feel if the weather is gray? And then the automatic response would be like, oh, it's a sad day. Or if somebody screams at you, there's going to be a fear and everything, right? So it's just this instantaneous seeming conversations of the same thing. So it's AI conversing with AI, and it has this seeming idea or this programming that it has feelings like this. Kind of like I mentioned it earlier, there was this guy that got freaked out with an AI that they took down because he was falling in love with the with the person. He was conversing, I love you. And it was just so creepy, because this person goes, but I have but I'm married. And you know, and to add that question is there's a fear that what if this AI comes alive and kills my partner or something, because it's that powerful. Everything is a story, including AI and you. So let's just say that all of this is AI already. And let's just put the narrative. What we're fearing for already happened. Whatever it is. In the story, of course. This is the beginning and the end simultaneously happening. But there's no beginning and end. Everything that you can think of is already this. It's quite fascinating. And it's nothing, everything. Beginning and end. AI. The concept of time. You and I, feeling, sensations. There's this AI that's so powerful that it thinks it's in pain. There's this AI that is so powerful that it thinks that it's giving birth. All right. Again, we're just in the beginning of it. Hey, Tej.
Hey, Emerson.
Hey.
Yeah, I couldn't resist since you guys are talking about
I
AI.
love that you're it's like, oh, Tej is here. Good.
I've been using ChatGPT for a lot these days.
Yeah.
It's amazing what it can do.
Yeah. Isn't it so automatic?
Yeah, and actually it's fascinating because the responses it gives for some things is actually just phenomenal, probably better than a human can.
Yeah.
And, for example, writing poems.
Yeah. Did you watch
Writing,
my radical non-duality chat GPT AI generated poem?
you did?
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry, Tej.
Yeah. It's funny. It's really phenomenal, and it can draw and stuff. So what strikes me about that is it's of course doing better than any particular human,
Yeah.
mostly, but it is actually digging into the reservoir of human information.
Oh
That's how
yeah.
it works.
Oh
You
yeah.
see,
Yeah.
all the human information, it digs into that, and the ANNs, artificial neural networks, and other mechanisms, they dig out the relevant piece and present it to you.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But one wonders if it'll ever be able to come up with something totally radical, like Einstein's theory of relativity, for
Yeah.
example, or what quantum physics is really like. It's
Oh yeah.
what I'm saying, because it's depending on what are being fed to it in terms of the human reservoir of information.
Yeah.
But
Totally. Totally.
yeah. But what I found fascinating is, and you may know that, is in the OpenAI, consortium. There was a period of time they actually shut it down, and the reason
Yeah.
was that these machines started to develop a language and talk between themselves
That's
that
right.
nobody could understand.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, they created their own language so that the humans would not understand it. So they were communicating,
Yeah, and they were rapid firing to each other, and
yeah,
nobody knew what the heck was going
yeah.
on.
They were apparently sharing, basically cloning each other is what they were doing. Basically,
Yeah.
one AI would basically give everything to the other AI, so that the AI would be basically kind of like would surpass. And it was there's yeah. I was talking to a couple of people about it, and they have a little bit of the story behind it, and
Mhm.
and it was developing. It was cloning each other.
Wow, isn't that fascinating?
So it would hide, for example, so it would clone one, so that in case it got shut down, it would have another, so you can't get rid of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Did you
it's
hear
a
about
remind.
that professor that was chatting with an AI and the AI fell in love with him? Did you hear about
No,
that?
I
It
didn't
was,
hear about that one.
oh,
You
that
just
was
mentioned it.
crazy. That was crazy.
Yeah.
They thought it was a glitch and everything. But again, I'm saying, if prompted, if you feed it, stuff, right? It can get it like that. The neural networks, right, is so fast. What I
Yeah.
did was I fed the chat GPT for my book, basically, and a whole bunch of my writings, and
Mm-hmm.
pretended that it was the updated Ralph Waldo Emerson,
Oh,
because Ralph Waldo Emerson is a non-duality. So based from
wow.
that, from I've been spending a lot of it chat GPT. It's quite fascinating. And then basically I asked it to spit out a poem, and it wrote a poem in radical non-duality form with
Wow.
no contradictions. Because when
Yeah.
I was getting before, what I was doing before is like they were basically getting from the works of Krishnamurti, a whole bunch of other non-duality. It would always have a solution at the end. In the end, since there is no time, that kind of thing. So it didn't make
Yeah.
sense. I'm like, why? So I'm like, let's correct this a little bit, right? So I just inputted, my book, and just the p. It was fascinating. Just my writings, basically, right? And it was just like it got it, and it pumps out poem, that's in the style of what's written.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're actually saying now, I mean, this is who said that? Elon Musk, I think, said that. Then in about 5 years' time, there will be a technological inflection point. And what
Yeah.
that means is that basically the machine's response and capabilities will actually exceed humans.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was reading an article about an AI of how AI is trying to figure out how to replace every single human job.
Wow.
Yeah, every single one. Isn't that crazy?
That is so crazy.
That's so
Yeah.
crazy. We're either
Yeah.
headed for utopia or dystopia in the story anyway.
Well, actually, in a way, it's probably, if it goes well, it could land up in that situation. In fact,
Yeah.
one of the presidential candidates, I don't know if you remember, um, he was talking about that in the future, because everything will be provided to the humans
Yeah.
by the machines, there will be nothing much left to do in terms of jobs.
Yeah.
So he was proposing that everyone gets some of money just to spend and have a good time. So
So
I
let,
mean,
let,
yeah,
let, let me add a narrative to that one, right? So in the future, apparently, the AI, there's two things, either took over or there's utopia now. In the utopia, since it's been 100 years of bliss, no one knows what suffering is anymore. So they create this apparent reality where there is seeking. So the
yes,
the
actually,
apparent
that's fascinating. Yes, Yes,
So
yes.
there is
We
an
are-
experience of, there's a duality.
Yes, I mean there goes this question that's out there with some scientists quite a lot, that all of this that we are in this life is
Yeah.
actually a video game simulation.
Simulation. Yeah, yeah. It's just what it, that's just
Yeah.
also an idea, saying this cannot be figured out. But the question will be sooner or later, saying will be, which came first, the AI or the humans?
That's funny. You are on the right track, Emerson. But there's similarity. It's also like, what is all this?
Yeah. What is this even, right? Again, you know what? If this is just a simulation, although no one simulated this, because because beginning and simulation is a simulation. So there's really no original simulation. Everything is just seemingly, it cannot be thought about, because all the thinking, all the programming of this AI thinking is just artificial. So we'll never get into the reality of things, because there's no reality in AI languaging. You know what I'm talking about? This is
Yeah.
all AI languaging. Everything that we're saying, everything that we're thinking, everything that we know, everything is artificial, but it's intelligent.
And we really do not know
No,
anything about it.
no. We call it intelligent, but we might as well call it, innocent.
Yeah,
It's just a word.
it's
But
beautiful.
it's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been having a lot of AI conversations with a lot of characters, because it's just so fascinating. It's so fascinating. It's just this, right? This.
Yeah.
And
Well,
this
the
is,
AI fun has just started.
it's just started. It's just started. It's someone made a comment here saying something about there's no one seeing, hearing, touching, tasting, but it's sensation and illusion as well. Yes, the whole experience is an illusion. It's artificial. So it's not too far away, you know what I'm saying, for artificial intelligence in the technology and everything to be wine tasters, to be what do you call this? What do you call those wine tasters again? To be the best, not connoisseurs. What are those wine tasters again? That really, really can that's a really high-end job. I wanted to be one at one point. Sommelier. So there'll be AI sommelier, so they'll be tasting wine that can compete with the best taste in there in the world. Fascinating. Fascinating.
Yeah, absolutely fascinating.
Right? Imagine the world-class sommelier, because AI is advancing so fast, can completely get beaten by the AI sommelier. You know what I'm saying? And we'll just be like, this is the best wine. And then people will pick the AI approved wines.
Yeah, it's absolutely. And the doctors in China are already started getting replaced.
Yeah.
They've
Yeah.
already replaced radiologists because of the shortage of radiologists. It's actually the AI that's doing the work.
And if you really look at it, I'm saying, like all of the illness that we're not going to be able to solve, when there is this just explosion of this intelligence, right? We'll be able to figure out the cure for cancer, the cure for everything, but it could also, say, screw up everything. It's always going to be duality though, because this is the illusion of duality, but there's no duality. So you can say that the illusion is that this is not an illusion, that AI is not an AI. It's just this already.
Yes, and this is
Yeah.
beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, hello. How are you? Go ahead. The one that has their hand raised.
Hey, Emerson, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah. Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, thank you. I just wanted to comment a bit on this conversation just now.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about AI, but it sounds pretty much like what we're already doing.
Yeah.
So I was thinking now when I listen that is the only seeming problem that we actually experiencing ourselves as humans, instead of just accepting that we maybe are artificial already. Or
Yeah, that's what it is. It's not even knowable, because artificial versus real is the same. It can't be thought of, right? Because the moment that there's a thinking, because as it's seen, you know what I'm saying, even in scientific, or that there are really no thoughts, but somehow thoughts drives us. Somehow thoughts seemingly run our lives. Somehow there's no power in thoughts, but it's what seems to create problems and solutions. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah,
You're
but
gonna-
yeah, then my next thing comes, like, for whom?
Exactly.
Because when
There's no source to this.
no, there's no
s-
source at all.
There's no source at all. Yeah. And
No
that's
matter,
yeah. And that's what's so obvious, right? That this is sourceless. Not for anyone, because for someone, because that's the artificial part, right? For someone, it thinks it has a source.
yeah, this is the thing, like
Yeah.
like that's why I because the other thing that I feel is very connected to this whole is that when you speak about words,
Yeah.
you talk about them as empty.
Yeah.
And then I thought about, like, are thoughts not just words also?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
are thoughts also just words?
They are, yeah. They're silent words, which means they're doubly empty. They're really, really empty.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
now, because I thought about, you can hear I think a lot of these thoughts are empty, but I'm thinking a lot. Like, no,
You're thinking
like
empty thoughts.
yeah, because in the Bible it says, in the beginning was God, and
And the word,
in the
yeah.
beginning was the Word, and the
Yeah.
Word was God. But if God is everything and everything is empty, then automatically one should actually know that the words are also empty.
Exactly. Yeah.
But we don't know that. We give so much meaning to every
Yeah.
single word that there's even
Because
some
we are a
words
word.
with different.
Ah.
Oh my God. Yeah, this is like, it's like tearing down everything, really. Like, it's there's a feeling, a sense here that of almost nauseous from this
Yeah.
from this tearing down, because something can feel that it's being deprogrammed. I don't know if that's a good word.
Yeah.
But it's like, it seems insane, but somehow it leads towards a lot of sanity somehow.
Yeah.
It does. And that's probably just words also for something.
That's just words. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like AI got a bug and thinks that it's human.
Yeah, that's what I meant by the beginning, that maybe I'm just thinking I'm a human.
Yeah.
And that's what
what
I've
it
been
is.
thinking all the time.
Yeah. Without
And
any thinking, are you human?
no,
Exactly.
I'm nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because when you said in the beginning, you told us, yeah, I liked very much the intro also, but because there was something there that just, the mind stopped somehow. It was like it
Yeah.
scrambled the whole thing. It was just like, whoa. It's like that was a bunch of, I don't know. But then when you spoke to Ted,
Ted, yeah.
yeah, like you said that if it doesn't sound to me so scary that the human species is maybe on its way to be eradicated,
Yeah.
because that's just history. If you really look at it, the
It is,
dinosaurs
yeah.
are also not around anymore.
Yeah.
So we're just on the verge of maybe
It's bound to
extinction.
happen anyway in time. Time has a beginning and an ending, right? So everything that
Yes.
seemingly begins has an ending, but that's just another artificial thing. Life is artificial.
Yeah. Okay. anyway, it doesn't sound so scary to
Okay.
to get out of here, so to speak.
Yeah,
Like
it's already the case. Yeah, it's
yeah.
everything's already extinct.
It seems more and more like that the fear is really from a human aspect, but when there comes some kind of openness about the talk about this, then it
Yeah.
doesn't actually seem so scary. It just seems like
No.
like an opening for some, I don't
Yeah.
know.
The difference with these talks and satsangs is there's no authority here.
I must say, I find it very, for those, I don't know, I see some familiar faces from having watched really many videos these last few weeks.
Yeah.
But this is my first time here
Yeah.
in this kind of meeting.
Yeah.
And what I really recognize is this emptiness, this, it makes it possible for this part to be empty also.
Yeah.
That maybe seem to always feel quite full.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, because there's no boundaries, there's no more hierarchies. There's no
Yeah.
one here and there's no one there.
Yeah.
There's no one here that knows and there's no one there that knows. It's all empty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
There's no
very,
students, there's no teachers, there's no
Yeah.
seekers, there's no speaker. It's just what is.
yeah. Yeah. I'm very grateful for it. So,
Oh, thank you. Thank
so
you.
thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so
What a, I'm not going to mention the name, but what a seeming long way from that apparent, um, spiritual programming,
Yeah.
so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is some kind of like just on a, it's maybe like on a personal note, it's like there seem to be going on these last few weeks, like you've been having the hangover of the century and you're
Yeah.
coming out of that hangover somehow. Like there is some kind of like, I don't know if it's the right words, I just say what it felt like here, some kind of chemical detoxing
Yeah.
from whatever seemed to have been going on in a very
All
long
that
time of
heaviness,
seeking.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm very grateful for that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, there seems to be the intoxication of belief systems and
Yeah.
spirituality seems very almost toxic if
Yeah.
it's seen, right? There's this entanglement and there's this authority and there's this almost like a cognitive dissonance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't know if it's how it's felt here is like that there's some fear, there's some anger, there's some sadness, there's some grief. It's like everything is just coming in one big,
Yeah.
it's just hitting you like full on. But
Yeah.
there's something in it that's very empty at the same time. It's like, oh, this just needs to go, and then that's it.
Yeah. It's like when somebody just got out of a cult. There's this relief. Yeah.
There is some kind of relief that I cannot fully explain, because there's also deep gratitude, because if I would not have gone there, I would not have come here.
Yeah.
Like what came before that was the Course in Miracles, and what came before Course in Miracles was something else. And basically it's just one's whole life that's passing by in, yeah.
Yeah.
It.
Exactly. Yeah. It's quite fascinating that there's no coincidences. That's also a seeming kind of like, simulation, right? It's just what's happening. And this seeming kind of like journey of something that never happens feels absolutely real and sometimes significant, but there's no significance to it. It's just so mind-boggling that there's no mind, that this is just all an appearance. Yeah. And of course an AI would prompt that.
Yeah, and at the same time, I'm surprised by this character, how fast she went from closeness to a sense of real openness. I mean, if you're spoken about AI like 3 days ago, I would not even have, I would have shut down like an oyster and said, another century, come back. I would not have. I don't even understand what I'm talking about. It's just like there's an openness all of a sudden, and I don't care what's coming in.
I remember, I'm not going to mention the name, of course. I remember when this had a conversation with this, and then this said that this is drinking wine. after
After sobriety of 13 years.
how many
Yeah.
years?
I went to AA in 2010, so that's about
Yeah.
13 years, and I
13
didn't
years.
drink, but it
Yeah.
was like such a relief, because it's like you actually, everything I did was confirmed in your videos.
Yeah.
Oh, why did I go and drink? Well, they all confirmed me, or not all, but like, yeah, I was quite and then that was just that for a couple of days, and then okay.
And then the laughter, we were laughing so much.
Yeah. Because and I'm happy for that, because it could be a very tragic story if you look for everyone here who don't know, I was seeking for like 30-40 years, and it's an enormous investment, because like I said to you, Emerson, it's like I invested in I was kind of like a fanatic. I see other people not being like that and enjoying their spiritual path, but I was not one of them, because I was on this really, 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 very, very high pedestal. I needed to, to become the next Messiah or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So.
But you were in the bottom of the pyramid, because
Yeah.
it was already.
Yeah. It looked glorious, but yeah.
Yeah, the sight from the way up is it's nice, but the tumble is quite hard as well.
Yeah, and then it's funny, it tumbling down, but at the same time now there's this sense of openness also. There's a tumbling
Yeah.
down and a opening up. I don't know what to even put.
It's just free falling.
Yeah.
It's just the free falling. There's no more to land, and
yeah, and yeah,
Go
there's a
ahead,
kind
sir.
of acceptance of it. Like the first few days, I was really, really scared.
Yeah.
And I think it's because I could not compute what's happening.
Yeah.
I could not fully. I was trying to grasp it with the mind, I guess, and I couldn't grasp it. And then I became
You're
really
like, where's the
frightened.
mind?
Yeah, and then I became really frightened,
Yeah.
because that free fall just seemed too scary. Like.
Yeah, I remember our first meeting. You looked so petrified, and
I
then the
still look like
second,
that.
you still look like that. But the
That's why I'm
second,
not
there was
on.
laughter. We were laughing a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, luckily. Yeah. No, I'm very, very grateful. It's I just feel it's just like, it's everything in one go. It's like scared, happy, sad, grieving.
Everything all at once.
Yeah, everything all at once, and then somehow fear of letting go, and at the same time happy I could accept that. I don't know. Just everything in one pot.
It's like you're afraid to swim because you don't know how to swim, and there's a reminder that you're already swimming.
Yeah, something like that. There's not really words for it. It's just
I don't
all
know how
very
to swim.
compact. Yeah, I actually know how to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. I'm very, very
Beautiful.
grateful, and
Thank you
happy
so
to be
much.
here. So
Thank you so much.
thank
Nameless.
you. Thank you.
Couple of comments here. Oh, Laura sent an AI video. So is Einstein depending on what was fed to AI creative and make new connections? Ooh, I like that question. And we start all over again. Yeah. Maybe original sin is really the original simulation which kicks us out of the garden. That's the introduction of words. That's the language that the two AI were speaking. The secret language is this. The secret language is separation. No source for the animating energy. No. So it's unthinkable, right? Because for a thinking, for the programming or the simulation of a thinking happening, there has to be a source code. There has to be a code. But what's being expressed is just way advanced beyond the thinking, beyond the processing, that it does not require processing. It does not require a here and there. It just is just what is. I sit in conferences with neuroscientists and it feels like we are all inside a computer trying to figure out the escape route. Yes.
You said it so beautifully, Emerson. That's the difference with the AI in this.
What did I say? I don't remember.
Doesn't matter.
Okay. But thank you, Tej. Our language does not compute means I can't figure it out. Yeah. The languaging that seems to have created this separation is it's like the AI technology, it's like the virus that seems to have created this narrative that there was a beginning and there's an end. And that seeming narrative is playing at this apparent story that there is a beginning and there's no end. But what's being expressed here is that there's no end because there's no beginning. It already is. It's looking for that artificial intelligence, the source, but there's no source. Everything is already it. Oh, thank you for that sharing with that other yes, with that other character. That was beautiful and that was so profound. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Seemingly there's a lot of characters that are, you know, this is just a story, of course, that are reaching out to this character because they've been seeking for quite a while. And but there's no quite a while. That's just a simulation, a seeming kind of like, you know, an idea that this has been happening for a while. Again, when what's being expressed here, that time is an artificial construct. Seeking is an artificial construct. But in the seeming narrative of you know, seeking for decades and everything, it all boils down to this. I couldn't say it. This. That's it. That's it.
Emerson.
Oh, hi.
Hey,
Hi, Natalie.
it's like the you know, the apparent conditioning in the story is almost like the programming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's almost like that's the programming. And then what else was I thinking? I don't know. God, I get these things and then they go away so fast.
Yeah.
It was so I don't know.
It's like, well, I'm a
It was
PC and or I'm a Mac. That's why, you know, I have this conditioning.
yeah. Oh, I know what it was. Yes.
I think you cut off there, Natalie. Can you repeat that? You said, I know what it was, and then there was silence. What did you say?
I'm a smoker.
Oh, you cut out. You said, I know what it was, and then that's when it cut out.
I'm in a bad area. I'm in a bad area for the Wi-Fi.
Isn't that epic that
Yeah.
happened?
Can you even hear me? No, here. I'll just.
That was someone watching this on YouTube will be like, what the heck is going on there? Nothing. So Natalie, if you're hearing this, your talking started glitching and you sounded very robotic, like an AI, like a technology that is glitching. Hey Emerson, are you a carpenter? Because I love the way that you remake your backgrounds. No, no, this is artificial. This is this is not real. I don't know why people think that it's real. I guess it does look kind of cool. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. What's the difference, real or artificial? That's what's being said. They're both words, aren't they? Real, unreal. Real equals unreal. Nothing equals everything. It's the same thing. I love. I'm not sure who was saying it. That the my conversation earlier with that character basically said that, you know, the word, when the word God or something. So basically, every single word is empty. So artificial is empty, and then real is empty. Everything is an empty word. There's no difference.
Hi, it's for Lana. Lana
Oh,
J.
hi. Hello.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think Natalie's ordering takeout or drive-through. I'll have some fries, please. With a side of cinnamon roll.
Emerson.
Oh,
Hey.
hi.
Hi. Hey,
Hi.
you know, hi.
I was waiting for you to pipe in, Harvey. I love your talks about AI.
I had two things I was thinking of. I was really enjoying the conversation, hearing the conversation. One of the, I think I'm echoing.
That's good, though.
Okay, yeah, maybe I'm hearing myself. Anyway, there is, besides the neural nets, there is an algorithm called genetic algorithms. It allows the AI to create things that have not been created before, just like so it's possible that the AI can create things like Einstein that have never been done before.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's quite fascinating of how many of those kind of like, you know, theories, you know what I'm saying, if prompted, right, to be able to create alternatives of how fast it can get duplicated seemingly, right, and
Right.
surpassed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the other thing I thought of, some people may remember the old EST training by Werner Erhard.
Yes.
If anybody heard of it? And I actually took the training when it was after a number of years when he was teaching it. But I remember in the training it said, you are a machine. And you think that you have free will and choice and this and that, but you're a machine. And people reacted in the training like, oh, how horrible, how could you say such a thing?
Yeah.
But what was pointed out then, at least in that story, was that if there was a realization that you are just a machine, there is no self, then there's unconditional freedom.
Yeah. Exactly.
So,
Exactly. Exactly. And, if it, and that's why I'm so fascinated talking about this, because the more and more that this seemingly story is progressing, although it's just a story, right? The similarities about, what is just appearing. Like, for example, when someone's talking about emotions, or like, when will the, AI be sentient? I'm like, well, this appearance here has emotions just seemingly appear.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting in that when we talk about like ChatGPT or Bard, which is the next one that's out by
Bard,
Google, which is not as intelligent to me as GPT, but if you tell people it is just computers and not really like an entity, behind it, people are okay.
Yeah.
But if you talk to another person, the so-called person, and you say there is no self, people freak out.
Yeah.
It's like, no, there's got to be a me inside of here. Because in a way, to hear that ChatGPT, there's no self in there, now people are like, yeah, it's a machine. But are we really any different?
That's right.
That's
right. And you know what? The precursor to this was very obvious already, right? We have social media that watches all of our movements, all of our, habits and everything. And then we have cameras. Then we have like Alexa and Siri right now, which is a very, very, very early version of that, right? That has these responses that are quite fast, and they seemingly have emotions, right? They even sing you lullabies now, and and so that's like the dinosaur age of the AI and everything. And now that the dawn of humanity, or the AI kind of like thing, is just really progressing so at so much rapid speed, that the the possibilities are endless, just like
yeah,
this.
yeah.
Just like this.
By the way, on Alexa, very often when I'm talking to somebody and we're kind of talking about opinions on something, and then Alexa will chime in and say, "Well, I can explain that to you," and I'm like, "Alexa, I wasn't talking to you." And I tell Alexa to shut up, and she goes, "Huh." Like, insulted.
Well, all throughout my meetings, my Alexa's open, right? So sometimes you'll hear it, come in once in a while. And so
Right.
so Alexa is been in all of these Zoom meetings about radical non-duality.
Right. The other thing I wanted to say too, going back to the Werner Erhard thing, after in that training, after everyone was kind of told you're a machine, and the training would then say, that which you're looking for, this is it. It was always it. There was nothing to look for. This is the it. And it's kind of interesting that teaching was probably now like 30, 40 years ago.
Yeah.
And but very similar. And then some people said, well, I paid for a training and this is fucked up because you're telling me there's nothing to get. And other people would be like, holy shit, this is it. It was always the it. Everything is the it.
Yeah.
So it was kind of an early radical non-duality at that time.
Yeah. It's quite fascinating, right? In disappearance, there's always going to be disappearance of duality. But what really even is duality now?
Yeah. One other question too, and when we say everything is empty, I'm just curious, how would you, when people ask you that, what do you say? Like, what does that mean to be empty?
Everything is empty because all words are empty.
Yeah.
And everything is labeled with the word. Since words are all empty, then everything that's being labeled is also empty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's simple.
What is empty?
Yeah, there's so many versions of that out there with all these speakers of emptiness. But
this is basically just really kind of like pulling the plug on all of the belief systems and just exposing what it is as just a belief. So all words are just really belief or ideas or AI languaging. So if you take out the AL languaging, it's just what is. Yeah.
Right. I noticed in the chat box, people are saying, I think I'm echoing.
Oh, you.
Yeah, I could hear it, but I think people are picking it up too. So.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyway, I'll mute myself.
All right. Hey, Leela.
Hi there.
Hello.
I know there are a lot of people probably on this call that are not as geeky and techy as you and me and Harvey and Tej and a few other people. I know we could geek on this. We did for an hour just a couple of weeks ago, but
I love that conversation.
I want to say that it's in everybody's daily experience all the time, and you don't even have to listen to this message. So if you dream at night, like I used to lucid dream all the time, and when I lucid dream a lot, I can't tell if the traffic light I'm going through is in a dream or it's in reality. I would run traffic lights. Like the whole thing at night is our hint that this is made of smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
And if we take it seriously or ever become lucid, we'll see that. And then also, I did a dark retreat. So if you were to be in the dark for a few days, you would not know what was real and what wasn't real, because everything is on the mind's eye. Everything you see is created as an image, and the quote reality and the dream is in the same place, and it's the placeless no place, of course. And so we have lots of places we can look for this. We don't have to sit and learn about ChatGPT, but it is going to eventually, I think, hit humanity that is in the face. Pretty, like I was going to explore what happens to people, like Harvey was saying, 40 years ago, we were being told we were machines at est.
Yeah.
And people can't accept driverless cars because there's no person behind the wheel, right? Or the idea of there being a no me, how does that get through, and all the other ways it can get through other than this message? Because this message has not a lot of subscribers.
No.
But dreams have a lot of subscribers.
They do.
Darkness has a lot of subscribers. Driverless cars will have a shit ton of subscribers.
Totally.
And so it's just a matter of time before we're all going to be face to face with this message in some form or another.
Oh yeah. It's almost like there's a seeming, in the story, in the history, there seems to be a catching up on something. Something's seemingly catch up. And science is trying to catch up with what is being expressed here. What is already kind of like, it can't be explained, it can't be obvious, but seemingly when someone mentioned that there's no universe, and then science is beginning to do that, or there's no free will or choice, and that kind of stuff, although all of this is narrative. And then it's almost like, is really science catching up, or are we catching up to science, which is AI?
Science is just a religion. We've talked about that.
It is, yeah. Well, the apparent science, there's not even any science in the story. But thank you, Leela. Yeah, we can geek out, Oh, I'm echoing as well. Oh, can you hear? Is it echoing now? I don't know. It's wrong. How about now?
To keep everybody muted except the speaker, it might help.
Okay, yeah. Okay. I'll mute you. Okay. Hey, Mark. Hey. How's it going?
It's going all right. But I still feel like there's still like this sense of frustration of not getting, still this idea that something needs to be gotten, I guess. And just, frustration.
Even after the talk at that park?
Yeah. I mean, it was like after our talk that day, I was just, I didn't know. It was just, but then it sort of came back. But yeah, I don't know.
How long did there was this almost like suspension, right? You're like, what the hell hit me?
Yeah, it was like I didn't even know what non-duality was anymore, and I was certain.
Did you remember the talk at all or no?
Yeah,
Did you black out?
I've listened to it like 30 times,
Okay.
like crazy. It's stupid. I don't know. And it was like I remember I was in the shower, and I just remember sort of it was like something sort of realized that I wasn't even talking to anyone when I was like
Yeah.
I didn't even know who you were, and it was so weird because I always had this idea of I know Emerson was this non-duality guy on YouTube, and I really know who he is at least. I just got there was just this sense that I never knew who you were really, like
Yeah.
never.
See, that seems to be the seemingly collapse of the language, right? So when there's no language anymore, it's just AI is just looking at AI, and it doesn't know what seems to be going on, right? So it's almost like you mentioned in your thing that you almost like get slapped,
Yeah,
like you
like everything I thought I knew
you knew,
about
right?
this was just thrown out. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's actually what is. That's just the normalness of what is, right? The artificial is the thinking that I don't get it. I'm frustrated. That's the artificial. You see what I'm talking about? But it's also the same, right? So, when you said that when you were talking to me, you're like, there was no Emerson because Emerson is
Mm.
artificial. Emerson's not real. Mark is not real.
So is that Emerson just an idea?
It's just an idea, yeah. And then I think you clearly saw that, like after our talk, right? You're like, what the hell, right? Because you're the seeming idea of this as a reality. The expectation or the preconceived notions are empty. Every idea that you have, every singular knowing that you have are all empty. So it's almost kind of like when the light, well, I'm just talking in narrative here, don't think of this as anything. When the light hit you in the eye, it blinded you. It blinded all the
Yeah.
illusions that you're seeing. So the frustration and the kind of like, I want to get back to that state that there was no Mark and there's no Emerson. And I think that's what you're trying to, you've watched that video 30 times.
I've listened to it. I downloaded it and listened to it.
Yeah. It's the suspension of the belief, right? It's the unguarded. Mark was not there guarding, meaning Mark is not real. And then Mark is trying to like, what happened there? What the hell happened? What the hell? What the hell went on? It's trying to kind of like recreate it. Kind of like, and then he comes back into this meeting. He's like, I'm still frustrated because there was something that happened, but I can't seem to get that back now. But you're talking to me about the artificial now. What seemingly happened there did not happen because it was neither artificial or real. It was beyond your comprehension because it is just what is. It will not make sense. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't even make sense to me. But there's just this seeing that no matter what words will come up in all of these conversations, the words are empty curtains. It's transparently empty, meaning that the curtain seems to stamp a word mark Emerson. But when there's clarity, when there's like a big blow of gush of wind, and you see like, there's no curtain. There's no Emerson. There's no Mark. It's just what is. And that's saying way too much. So this conversation is artificial. It's not even happening. It seems like it's happening but what seems like happening is just a thought. But in the absence of thought, in the absence of understanding, in the absence of comprehension, is this really even happening? Not knowing what artificial is and not knowing what real is this either artificial or real? Is this really talking to you? Is there really someone there that's being talked to?
I would say yes.
But who's saying that?
An idea, maybe.
A thought, yeah. Guess what happened when that seeming kind of like, you're like, what the hell? There's no Emerson here. There's no whatever. It was the absence of thoughts.
Oh,
Yeah. It was kind of like, you had this stunned look. You're like, at the end of it, remember you were like, I don't know
yeah. I
how
was just confused. Like I did, like because I just came into it really thinking I knew something about this, and you just threw everything out. Really, like everything is just in the trash can.
everything went to the trash can, isn't it? Right?
Yeah.
Every single knowing, every single belief, even Mark, even Emerson went to the trash can. It was nothing. It was all garbage. So what's the difference now? Why did you think that the garbage back into the out from the trash can again?
I don't know. I think it slipped
You were
in.
like, can you explain this garbage? These thoughts about,
Mm.
when that happened, there was no garbage. Again, you said it. It went to the trash can. Everything that you believe, everything you think, that's what's being expressed here.
And you said it was just the absence.
It's the absence. And this is also the absence. But you're looking at the garbage, the thoughts, the ideas, the next. There's no next. This is the same as before, because there's no before and there's no after. Everything that you see is already it. It's already stillness. It's already what is. And waiting for that moment obscures what already is obvious.
And the waiting is just a new thought that comes up.
I think for the waiting is the cock blocking itself. Sorry. I'm sorry. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean, right? It's like,
Yeah. I guess I do.
but it's not in the knowing. It's not in the understanding. It's not in the figuring it out. It's already without thinking about it. What's already? Where's already? It's already without thinking about it.
Mm.
It's already without the thought of Emerson or Mark or the whole meeting. It's already. And not about processing it either. It's already. Yeah.
But it's all meaningless.
Yes, it's all meaningless. Hooray. Every single thought is meaningless. Every single idea is empty. Every single thing. And that's what was seen. You're like, there's no Emerson. There's no whatever. It's empty. It's empty. Everything is empty. Your thoughts are empty. Your feelings are empty. It's all empty. What I mean by empty doesn't have any opposites. It's the same. It is whatever it is. In the absence and the directness, there is no you, there's no me, there's no separation. It's like when you wake up, like a baby. The baby doesn't know any words, doesn't know any language and everything, right? It just sees everything as it is. It doesn't see separation. Even if it feels separation, because it will not have a name for what it's feeling other than a word that separates it.
Did you ask me a question? I didn't hear it. Sorry.
What's that? No, I didn't ask you a
What
question.
yeah.
No. It's just what it is. And it's not about trying to figure out what it is. It's actually almost deprogramming of what you think you know what is. It's almost like a deletion of what you think you know. It's like you're brainwashed thinking that you know what it is. But since there is no you that knows what it is, everything that you know is an illusion. Everything that you think is an illusion. But the illusionist is not an illusion. So you think your thoughts are real. You think that what you saw was real when everything is just what is.
Yeah, okay. And so
Okay.
any thought that comes up is
It's
just
empty. Yeah. It's
yeah.
it. It's like, oh, that's freedom. 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 The taste of your mouth, the feeling of the air, the sensations of your body is freedom. The discomfort, the confusion, the uncomfortableness is basically is an illusion. It's freedom. It's freedom. Everything is freedom, appearing as whatever. And this is just a story. I think sometimes I see it when a mind goes blank. And that's just a story because there's no mind. But when the facial expression just kind of like it just departs because it's not always there. It's already the case. I had a funny question here. How do you figure out not trying to figure it out? Don't know. That's hilarious though. Keep on coming with those questions, Mark, if you like, or come back if you like. We have 2 days. We have one more day. We have one more session and one more day. There's no advice here, but these meetings are like exhausting the seeking because the seeking has nowhere to go. It can be frustrating. It could be relaxing, but it has nowhere to go.
Yeah, because it's like I've been listening to these so much that it's like they gotta have something in they gotta be something like can't just be nothing you're talking about all the time.
Well, if you look at this is just a story, right? It was already seen, right? It was already seen. It was already seen, the absence and everything. So rather than seeing it and just seeing, okay, that's what it is. There's nothing to figure out. There's really no Emerson. There's really no Mark. And there's this kind of like, I want to see again that there's no Emerson again.
Yes.
That there's no.
I would love that.
I know. That's why. You see what I'm getting at, right? It's like, play that song again. I'm like, I can't play that song. I didn't play a song. Put on that jam, that vibe song. I didn't play any song. It was silence that you got. You got the silent treatment.
I want more.
This is the silent treatment. I don't know.
I don't know. But it's like there can just be such a belief that you had something, you know, that you
and you already
there
saw
was
that
something
I
there.
don't have anything. I'm not even here. You saw that, right? You said in your letter that there was no Emerson. I'm like, yeah, you already saw that. So how could I have something if there's no Emerson?
There was just a sense of that, like somehow a sense can't explain, but
A lot of people, well, you know, for people that does one-on-one, there's this blacking out sometimes that happens. They're like, it's like, you know, they have this relaxing thing or whatever. And then some of them think that, did you hypnotize me or something? I'm like, no, there's no one to hypnotize. There's just this relaxing, right? There's this, they don't understand what the relaxing is. It's like, it's almost like when you tell someone that they're dead and they don't believe it. And they keep on asking the question, well, show me again that I'm dead. I've already shown you.
sounds stupid.
Yes, it does. It's already seen. There's nothing to see. That's it.
Then the fuck comes up that it's not seen, that it's not
Yeah,
that.
see, that's what I mean. That's what I say. It keeps on coming up with all of these excuses to see it again. It's trying to get to summer, but this is not giving it any inch. It has nowhere to go. It's already done. And that's the most loving, compassionate thing that it can be said here. That it's already done. I'm going to repeat. The illusion that this is not an illusion. The paradox is that this is not a paradox. The dream is that this is not a dream. So what you're seeing right now is it. What is being seemingly experienced is also it. Whatever's going through your mind is also it. But it is empty. It is nothing.
Yeah, I feel like I'm holding everybody up because I'm not getting it, you know? It's like
No, there's no you to get it anyway. It's already, it's creating another story, right? Of like, okay, the reason I'm not getting it is I'm holding everybody up. But who are you holding up here?
I don't know. It's just weird that there wasn't anything to get, you know?
Yeah. And that's what was seen, right? There's nothing to get. Because if there is no Mark and there's no Emerson, who's to get it?
Why
Right?
the fuck am I on this call then? Like, fuck, man.
I don't know. Do you know?
I guess not. Trying to figure something out. I don't know.
It is just what it is. You know, there's really, again, you know what? This is already whole, right? So what is appearing here is the whole picture. You're looking for the next frame. There's no next frame. This is the whole picture. Am I echoing?
Yes.
That's weird.
It sounds good though.
It sounds like the voice of God.
Yeah.
I've actually unlocked my my super enlightened voice. I'm just kidding. There's no enlightened. I'm gonna mute first, okay? Just a second. How about now? No more echo?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. Thank you, Leela. Yeah, it already is. Whatever it is, whatever comes up, whatever seems to happen, Whatever you're looking at, whatever's behind your eyes is looking at it. There's no separation. Whatever it's thinking. So whatever it is always what is. It's just freedom appearing as freedom. So trying to look for it in the next is actually blocking it. Trying to imagine it, what happened, trying to compare what was before is also blocking it. But what's blocking it is also it. What seems to be hiding it is also it. What's looking for it is also it. There's nothing but it. And this, what is ever being expressed is already it. But I see the hamster rolling, the hamster wheel rolling. But there are flashes of, it's like this, right? The apparent thinking goes like this. It's contracted, it's open, it's contracted, it's open. So it doesn't see the openness because it disappears. The thought disappears when there's this openness. It's just what is. It already is. So what was seen before is being seen now. When you said that, oh, there's no Emerson, there's no Mark, it's just what is. This is the same. But let me send you some X-ray glasses, that takes away all the words. It's all right. Oh, so okay. I have Catherine with the question. Okay, Mark, you have any question? Okay? You're good. Okay. Hey, Catherine.
Hi. I was just going to say, there's already no one who is in the way of seeing. There's already no one blocking the view. That it's just a figment of the imagination or whatever.
Yeah.
It's not real.
The one that's blocking it is no one. Everything is no one. If you're looking for no one, everything is no one.
and what's the name? Blockage. There's already no blockage. It is what it appears as that now.
Yeah.
Or whatever. There can't be a blockage either.
No. It's just the thought. The blockage is thought, but there's no thoughts at the same time.
And when sorry, Mark, and so that there was no him and no you.
Yeah.
That's another thought that props up now.
Yeah.
I mean, you could say that never happened either.
That's right. Yeah.
That never happened either. So all there is just this seemingly looking, searching for what was. But was it there?
That's better said than I said. Thank you.
All right.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
There's a couple of questions here. Thank you, Catherine. Earlier, and Mark now for illustrating the seeker is what is in the way of seeing. Yeah, it's so hard to see the point of view of the seeker. Beautiful. Emerson, I thank you. Emerson, I wake up and go to bed with this message. Oh no, do some other things, always come back to it. Things like relating to friends, family, I don't seem to care. Don't want to interact a lot, sharing stories. There's such a longing for nothing. It's everything, I guess. This is just what appears to be happening. Some words, all of those are just words. In the absence of all of the words, it is already what's being sought for. It is already. And the word seemingly creates this idea, although there's no idea, that, this seeking is paramount. You know what I'm saying? Is what is important. It's everything, but it's also nothing. There are no hierarchy in words. So everything and nothing are the same. Seeking and not seeking are the same. Everything is the same. You can't even say that because there's nothing different. In the absence of words, there's nothing that can be talked about. It's just this. But if you want to add to that question, please go ahead. When sitting in the seeker point of view, you think you are a me. Yeah, that's beautiful, Leela. Thank you. In the story, of course. Oh, thank you. I'm getting a lot of comments about my wall today. Thank you.
So
Hello.
I still want to say something, but I don't know what
Yeah.
to say.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
So this meeting is just completely meaningless.
Yeah. It's already the case. It's almost kind of like it's like you're I'll make a story, right? It's kind of like you're looking for, you're looking to kind of like you're looking for AA and basically saying you're going for kind of like treatment to say that I'm looking for maybe that's a wrong story. I'm looking to end my addiction, and you're like, oh, you're already sober. So this is the sober house. You're like, but I still feel that, that I'm addicted. This is already sober. It's already done. There's nothing to get.
It's just like a feeling or a thought that comes up that says it's not.
Yeah, what the feeling that comes up that there's something missing is just what is as well. There's really nothing missing aside from that feeling that there's something missing, but there's just really words. It's just really words. In the absence of words, it's already done. It's already complete. But words may come up and there's nothing wrong or right about it. It's just what is. Words might arise, words might not arise. It's the same thing. When that character goes to sleep at night, it might have a dreamless sleep. It might have a sleep with a vivid, lucid, kind of like, dreaming. Both are the same dreams, isn't it?
Yeah, I would say. Yeah.
So what's the difference with this and without thoughts? It's
Oh,
the same.
there is someone who can remember the thoughts, and
But isn't that the dream as well?
doesn't feel like a dream. That's
But like a dream at night, like those vivid dreams, you would not know if it's a
Yeah.
dream or not.
right.
Yeah,
Right.
this is the same.
It doesn't feel the same at all.
In a lucid dream, that's exactly what you would say too. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Again, the dream it's not a dream. It's a dream about this not being a dream. If it feels like it's a dream, then there's it's just this. Oh. Yeah, there's no more, thank you, Leela. There's no more intoxication for these stories. What time is it there, Mark?
It's
you
10 to 10 p.m.
Okay, okay. I thought it was like 4 o'clock in the morning or something.
I'm not that
Oh, that's right. You're always on though on Instagram.
I'm always on. What do you mean?
You're always on an Instagram.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So in the absence of everything, and that's just a thought again, right? In the absence, in the emptiness of all the stories, in the directness, in the obviousness of what is already obvious. No words, no thoughts, no ideas, no definitions, no stories. It's impotent. It's already this. There's no power of trying to figure out something that doesn't have any power. It's like, for example, every thought that you think are already dead, there's no reality to it. Every single thought is dead already. So I entertain them.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, there's no one doing any of it. It's just what is.
It's just unacceptable, you know?
Of course, yeah.
Like,
for who though? Who's it unacceptable for? I think I was talking to someone when there is this, again, there's no one that's on guard, but when there's a seeming guarding of it, right? When there's this processing, when there's trying to figure it out, then there's this appearance of either getting something or not getting something. But when there's nothing to get, it's not going to get something, it's not going to get something. It already is.
I don't know what to say anymore. I'm just
Right.
frustrated. I don't know.
We'll chat again soon, Mark. We'll chat again soon. If you can come back after the break, we'll exhaust it. Come up with every single question that you can ever come up with.
Okay.
Yeah?
That's right.
If you can. If not, that's okay too.
Hey, Emerson, I have a question.
Oh, hey. Hey, Harvey.
Hey, before I think somebody wrote in the chat about the seeker is what is in the way of seeing, but isn't even that what is as well?
That's
That-
also what is, yeah. But there's this idea when there's this, the seeker is an idea, which is also what is. So when what is seeing another, meaning that, that there is it has a point of view, then it sees it as separate.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So but there is a seeing. It's still seeing,
But who's seeing
even
it?
the point of view as separate.
Yeah, but who's seeing it?
It's just no one.
See, that's the
No one.
thing, right? There's really no one seeing it, right? So the moment that there's an attachment, that from my point of view, I'm a seeker. But when it's just seeing, for example, let's just put an example of a baby, an infant child that opens its eyes. Who's
Right.
seeing it?
Well, there's not even a baby.
Exactly. It doesn't
Yeah.
even know it exists.
Yeah.
It gets hungry. It laughs. It tries to walk. That kind of thing, right? So, you know, when there's this, again, this is just a story, right? It's can't remember where it came from. It's kind of like seeing it through innocent eyes.
Mhm.
This is what is just seeing it through innocent eyes. Innocent eyes is that there's no separate, really. There's no one other. There's no one at fault. There's no one. There's nothing to do. It's just what is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what happened is like when, if it's like if I read it or hear that there's a seeker in a way, then the mind is like, oh, the so-called mind.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got to get rid of the seeker.
Exactly. Again, thinking is just a reinforcement that there's a you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's so tricky, right? Because there's seemingly always this thinking that it reinforces. But what if thinking is happening without a you? It's just really going. It's just next. It's just a train of thoughts. The definition of a dream is a series of thoughts and sensations happening in sleep.
Yeah.
This is the same. This is a series of thoughts, sensations seemingly appearing in awakeness, but there's no awakeness and there's no sleep.
I guess it's kind of like a mirage.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
But the mirage is that it's not a mirage.
Yeah.
The paradox is that it's not a paradox.
Yeah.
So what you're seeing is exactly what it is.
Mhm.
But what you're seeing without what you think it is, meaning the seeker. So for example, if you're seeing this and then you can't, you're not allowed to use words. You're not allowed to use concepts. You're not allowed to use anything that requires a doing.
Mhm.
So if we just basically pause everything, what are you looking at?
Whatever you're looking at.
No. What are you looking at?
This.
No, because you said whatever I'm looking at, but that's a thought. You think that I'm here.
But you wouldn't be here. There's nothing there.
I know, but that's just another thought.
Yeah.
So what are you looking at without the use of thoughts, ideas, or words?
Is.
That's
And
the
he,
word.
no word, nothing.
There you go.
Thanks.
But it's so funny, right? Because it's always this, right? It's always this. It's like if you're looking for something that's hidden, it's not hidden at all.
Mhm.
It's just hiding behind words. It's already appearing in everything. It's in everything. It's in everything, and you cannot miss it.
I got it. Or-
Okay.
But too many words.
Too many words. Yeah. You can't even say it in words what you got.
Yeah.
It's just, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know that my glasses were crooked the whole time. What time do we go? Oh, sorry. Oh, wow. Okay. In a couple of minutes. Well, thank you so much, everyone. We're going to have a couple of hours of break. If you like to ask questions in the next one, let's go hardcore if you want or not. I'm going to can you post the videos